individuals' financial literacy. Here you don't need any technical knowledge regarding subject disciplines because you all can understand what you mean by the financial literacy and then what is meant by the savings behavior. That's why I have taken this example. Okay, read the first one. What is it? The impact of music on concentration and study habit. What might be the dependent? Impact on music on concentration and study habits. Concentration and study habits. What is this? This is your dependent variable, right? But we are checking whether the music is impacting for that one. So then independently music variable is changing. We can call it as an independent variable as we study. How the social media affect for the self-esteem in teenagers. What is the dependent variable here? Self-esteem is the dependent variable. And then what is the independent? Social media. Social media is the independent variable. IV. Hereinafter, I will call the independent variable as what? IV and dependent variable, that is DV. If you want, you can write it there. But where I have given it as the first bullet point. Okay. Sleep quality and then the stress level. What might be the dependent? Sleep quality is the dependent variable or independent variable. Independent variable. Sometimes you might feel that one as well practically. If you are having a less number of hours for the sleep, you might have some stress level. So therefore, we know practically dependent variable is what? Stress level, right? And then sleep quality might be the independent variable. Just for the 4th years, for the dissertation, do a small thing, right? But it should be a new one. And then do it actually, do it practically. Don't copy and don't take the unnecessary information or whatever the other non-academic the sources. Just do a small thing, do it a new one, new small thing in a precise manner, right? So therefore, we don't need a big research problem, right? Just identify a small problem. And then based on that one, identify what is my subjected variable and then what is my dependent variable and where I am doing this research. Okay. Scope of the study. Same research problem has been developed further. Now what is research problem? Sorry, research topic. Financial literacy. Savings behavior. We identify. IV. Financial literacy. Savings behavior in the sense that is dependent variable. With special reference to undergraduates in Sri Lanka. What is my research area now? I'm developing the way how you can develop your research topic. Just identify first IV and DV. We did that one. Now we are deciding the scope of the study. Same research topic has been developed with the scope. Now what is the scope of this study? Where I'm doing this research. From whom I'm supposed to collect the data? Exactly, that is what? That is the undergraduate in Sri Lanka, where it decide my scope of the study or study area. Or sample. Or industry. You have to select where I apply this independent and dependent. Accordingly, the scope of this study is undergraduate in Sri Lanka. Okay, so I have just given there the purpose as I given in the lecture note as well. Again, redevelop. Same research topic. Now, how many components? We already identified financial literacy, that's IB. Savings behavior. What is it? Dependent. Reference to the undergraduate in Sri Lanka. Sample law area. What's the new thing here? What is the new thing? The impact of what I am checking is the purpose. What I am checking for the purpose of this study is finding one. Finding the impact of the financial literacy on savings behavior, special reference to or else with the information provided by the undergraduate in Sri Lanka. These three things needed to be very clearly mentioned in your research topic, right? What is the first one? Variables, right? Most probably, right? We are placing the independent variable first. In our research topic, the first variable should be what? Independent variable, right? How the financial literacy impacting for the savings behavior. What is independent? Financial. One, savings behavior. ESG on financial performance. What is the first variable? ESG. What is it? That is independent. Financial performance is what? That is the dependent variable. And then we'll take FinTech. Financial technology on environmental performance. What is the independent variable? FinTech. Dependent is what? Dependent is environmental performance. If we take how the green bonds. Green bonds impacting for the investor confidence. What is the independent variable? Green bonds. Dependent is investor confidence. How the working capital management practices impacting for the firm profitability. What is the independent variable? Working capital management practices. Dependent is profitability. Right? Always we can see first placement is supposed to move to the independent variable. Right? That's must. Independent variable. After you mention the purpose of the study, next thing is to mention the independent variable. After the independent variable, you can mention what might be your dependent variable. Independent and then dependent. This is the purpose. The impact. First component. Second component. Second component, IB and DB. In there also you have to mention first IB and then DB. Anyhow, that is the second process. Third one. Undergraduates in Sri Lanka. That is the third component. Right? These three should be very clearly specified in your research topic. After you identify the problem and then gather the information and it over, mention these three very clearly. Right? What is independent? What is dependent? And then what is the purpose of my study? And then sample or the population or scope of the study. Are you clear on this? මේ හතර කියන්නේ තුනක් මෙතන තියෙන. මේ තුන අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම undergraduate research topic එක පැහැදිලිව තියෙන්න ඕනේ. If it is unless a qualitative one. Okay. You can do this one very quickly. Just go to your note and then quickly do it. Okay. Activity number 1. Identify independent, dependent, and then the score. I have given this example. Most of the time giving the examples with a purpose. Why? What is the purpose of giving the examples here? Just to practice what we have learned as well as to give an idea regarding research topic. These are empirical research topic. You all can search on this one. That's why. And the first part of this lesson include lot of research areas. That's the second task. And then first day I have given 172 research topic. But these are empirical sources, how you can develop your research topic. පළවෙනි දවස් 172ක් දුන්නා මම ඔයාලට topics. මේ week එකේ areas දුන්නා. දැන් මේ example එක මම ඔයාලට දෙන්නේ මොනවද? මේ research topics. මේවා හොයලා බලලා මේ වගේ ටිකේ හොයාගෙන යන්න. Okay. We read the first one. It's not today we have a focus group. Online students also can collaborate with the The impact of budgeting practices on personal financial management with special reference to the undergraduate in Sri Lanka. Tell me, what is the independent variable? We'll start from the Sharon and give the chance for the student. Sharon, by reading the first topic, what might be the independent variable? Sharon.
Budgeting practices.
Independent variable, budgeting practices. Disha, dependent variable, financial management. Next person. Tisa, what is the scope of this study? Undergraduate in Sri Lanka. Next topic. Jacinta. Impact of financial technology usage on financial decision making reference to the young adults in Sri Lanka. What is the dependent to the dependent variable for the second topic? Financial decision making. Next person. What is the independent variable here? Financial technology. Hassan, what is the scope of this study? Young adults in Sri Lanka. Next one. The relationship between internal control system and fraud prevention in SME Sri Lanka. What is the dependent variable? Fraud prevention is the dependent variable. Next one. Independent variable. White color shirt. What is independent variable? Internal controls. Next person. What is the scope of this study? Yes, Sudha, you can look at this one and just say scope of the study. It's a SME Sri Lanka, not Sri Lanka. That should be SME Sri Lanka. And what is the purpose of this study? Exactly, analyzing the relationship, Okay. Next one. A comparative study of manual accounting system and computerized accounting system, special reference to the SME business in Sri Lanka. So, what is the purpose of this study? What is the purpose of this study? What is the purpose of this study? Okay. Aim is this is a comparative study. What is the dependent variable? Next one. Accounting systems. Then what is the independent variable? What is the independent variable? Can we identify independent and dependent as computerized as well as manual accounting system here? Can we? Others? Can we identify how the manual accounting system is? Are we going to analyze how the manual accounting system are impacting for the computerized accounting systems? No. What is this? This is just a comparative study. Can you identify then there is a dependent versus independent? No, there is no independent and dependent. Only there are some variables. Just the independent variables are there, but those independent variables, manual accounting systems, and then computerized accounting system, those are independent variables. Two independent variables are analyzing in a different way, right? Hope it is clear. All wages, not the dependent is first, and then not the independent is first, and then dependent is second. You have to very clearly look at the research topic, right? Last one. Who is next to that? The impact of tax knowledge on the tax compliance behavior, special reference to the self-employed individuals in Sri Lanka. What is the independent variable? Tax. Independent tax knowledge. Dependent. Next one. Tax knowledge is the independent variable. Dependent variable then tax compliance. Special reference to whom, Roji? Self-individual employees in Sri Lanka. That is the scope of our study. All right. Next one. The effect of another new word for the purpose. What is it? The effect of. We didn't identify that one. If you want, you can write down. The effect of audit quality on financial reporting reliability. What is the dependent variable? Kavisha. What's the dependent variable here? Dependent variable. Yes. Reporting. Financial reporting reliability is the dependent variable. And then independent variable is what? Audit quality. And then what is the area of the site? It says companies in Sri Lanka. Can anyone develop the question on this topic? Can anyone develop the research question on that topic? What we try to identify? Whether the reporting reliability is dependent on what? Is dependent on the audit quality. Audit quality. Whether the audit quality is going up, what happened to the financial reporting reliability? Is it going up or is it going down? That is what they are going to identify in where? In the listed companies. Okay. Next example already we discussed. Next one. A comparison of tax compliance between registered and unregistered business with special reference to the SME in Sri Lanka. Next person. What is the purpose of this study? What is the purpose of the study? What is the purpose of this study? What we are doing? A comparative analysis. A comparison. A comparison. In between whom? Yes, registered tax. Okay, registered versus unregistered business. A comparison regarding what? A comparison regarding tax compliance. Tax compliance. Then registered and unregistered business in SME Sri Lanka. What is that? That is my scope. Is there a dependent? No. But is there an independent? Yes. What is it? Tax compliance, right? Independent is tax compliance. We are going to analyze how the tax compliance in between the registered versus unregistered business. What we are going to do, we are make the comparative analysis regarding that. Are you clear on this one? Make it clear now, Amisha, is that clear to you? Next one. Digital payment system on the customer spending behavior. Buy now, pay later. Right? Digital system on the customer spending behavior. Special reference to the urban customers in Sri Lanka. We'll start from the next for that. Black color t-shirt next week. Consumer spending behavior. Next one, independent variable. Independent variable. Digital payment, not impact. Forget about the impact. What is dependent? Digital payment systems. Right? Next one, put that. What's the purpose? To identify the impact. Exactly, to identify the impact. What is the sample or what is the area? Forget about the special reference, that is a technical term. What is a sample for that? Urban customers in Sri Lanka. Next one. The impact of social media information on stock trading decisions with special reference to retail investors in Sri Lanka. Kandali, what is the purpose of this study?
It means the comparison of tax comparisons.
Previous time we do that one is good. Okay. That. Purpose of the study, Sandali? Okay. They are trying to identify the impact. Then dependent variable, green color t-shirt. Dependent variable. Stock trading decisions. Next one, independent variables. Social media information. Red color t-shirt. What is the scope of this study? Retail investors in Sri Lanka. Hope the flow is very clear to you all. Are you clear on this? Yes. We now go to the comparison of tax compliance in between registered and unregistered business in SME. Yes, SME Sri Lanka. Right? What we are doing is we are trying to analyze the way how the tax compliances happening in between the registered business SMEs as well as unregistered business. What is the scope? What is the target area for this research? That is the registered versus unregistered business in SME. Right? We are targeting for that category. But in there, what we are trying to analyze, their tax compliance. Whether they comply with the tax regulation or not. That is what we are trying to analyze, right? That means we are making a comparison between two groups. What are the two groups? Registered versus unregistered. Within these two groups, what we are going to analyze is, what we are going to make a comparison, that is the tax compliance. Right? So therefore here there are no dependent versus independent. Only the variables are there. The variable is what? Tax compliance. බදු ගෙවනවද නැද්ද? Return fill කරනවද නැද්ද? කොහොමද registered business කරන්නේ? කොහොමද unregistered business මේක apply කරන්නේ? What we are doing is we are doing a comparison or comparative analysis. So therefore the purpose is comparison, to make a comparison regarding what? Tax compliance in where registered business and unregistered SMBs in Sri Lanka. Are you clear on it? Okay. Difficulties? You can read later on. All right. First one, that. Second part, that. Now we'll go to the literature review. Any question on this section? Developing the research. The main thing that we have identified, two things we focus in this lesson. What is the first one? Process, right? Research process. How many steps? 5 to 6 steps. Starting with what? Research problem, right? Problem, questions, objectives, and then we went to literature review, collecting the similar papers for the research topic, and third one, identifying the methodology for or else designing the methodology for the research. After we deciding the methodology or else research method for our study, we start the data collection. After the data collection, we do the analysis. After the analysis, we make the conclusion and then as well as the recommendations for the future researchers. Clear? That is the first part of this lesson. Last week we completed. Second one, what is second one? How to develop a research topic. What are the main steps? 5. Identify a narrow, broad area, right? ලොකු area එකක් තෝරගන්න. හැබැයි එක area එකක්. Even might be tax or whatever the audit or finance whatever. And then you identify the narrow down area in identified broad area. That part already we completed. Then start searching a problem in that selected area. Narrow down area. And fourth one, what is fourth one? Gather the information, right? After the problem, just identify the problem, you gather the information. That section is in line with the literature review. That's what we are going to discuss today. After that, you can develop the research problem based on your research. Develop your research topic based on the research problem. Last point, fifth one, in identifying or in developing a research topic, there should be 3 essential components to the research topic. What these three components are: variables, IVDB, and then scope or sample or population or industry for the research. And third one, make the purpose of the study. මෙන්න මේ තුන තිබුණා නම් හරි research topic එකකදී. We are not now developing the research topic. We develop the research topic after you identify the research problem and etc. Here we do not have enough knowledge to develop the research problem, but we are moving towards developing of the research problem. You can take a new page. If you want, you can draw the mind map for the first lesson, second lesson as well. Literature review. Take down the new heading, literature review, within brackets, chapter 2. Literature review, chapter number 2. Chapter 2. We have, this is actually very interesting lesson. So, hope you have bring your laptop as well. Anyway, we have 2-3 laptops now. We are targeting for first identifying what you mean by the literature review, and then the importance of the literature review, especially the methodology. Right? Purpose of the literature review, that means the theoretical part, meaning and purpose. Very interesting methodology. The way of doing the research methodology, as well as checking the validity and reliability, citation methods, as well as plagiarism. This is the conceptual framework, and then the hypothesis again is something theoretical. But developing research literature review chapter with the modern technologies, AI, and then whatever the platform, with the plagiarism, avoiding the plagiarism, making humanization and how to do it, those things, as well as citation methods. Have you heard the citation before? Citations? Yes. Are you doing the citations via Word documents? When you are doing the reports, when you are analyzing the reports, you might have assignments, individual assignments. When you are doing the individual assignments, have you used the word referencing? Yes. If not, how you are entering the references? Just forget it. Yes, no, you can't. You are not doing the referencing with the Word document. If it is so, how you are doing the referencing? Tell me the way of doing it. Are you downloading the references and insert those things? No. So then how you are doing that one? The present practice really important for me to develop my lesson. That's why I'm asking. Then I can identify whether you have a proper understanding regarding the citations or not. How you are doing that one? කොහොමද අපි references include කරන්නේ? අපි references දාන්නේ නැද්ද reports වලට? දානවා අපි. references include කරන කොහොමද අපි references ගන්නෙ? Word එකේ references වලට include කරලා. ඒක නැතුව references දාන විදියක් තියෙනවද? ChatGPT එකෙන් අරගෙන references include කරනවා අපි. Sometimes there might be, have you checked the ChatGPT citations? Can you cross-check those things? No, not yet. Hope not yet. Just check those things, whether those are available or not. Most of the ChatGPT references or the citations, they are not existing. They do not have proper DOI, document identification or object readers. The thing is, you can use another platform, another AI softwares to develop that kind of report. Don't take the ChatGPT, the citations, those are wrong. We'll identify the way of entering those things today manually. Exactly, this is correct. What is it? Strong research begins with the strong literature review. You should have a proper understanding, or else you have to read more articles for the better research. If you are not reading, if you are not referring the articles, booklets, newspapers regarding the same research topic, you can't do a research. That means without reading, can't do a research. You have to practice the reading. That's most of the students do not have. They are really basic to read. In even my case, it's also the same. But you have to practice. Otherwise, reading without reading, you can't do the recitations, right? Even the subject, even it is not the recitation within the subject also, if you are not reading the similar articles, you can't develop your proposal. Please, how many articles you have to read? How to develop the research topic? 20 articles, right? At least 20 articles needed to be read to develop the research topic. If not, when you are doing the dissertation, how many abstract you have to read? 200 abstract, right? 200 just the abstract. Otherwise, you can't do the dissertation, right? We have a lot of methods for the reading. No need to just look at those things and read, but we have a lot of methods for the referring those abstract and final papers. What do you mean by literature review then? What do you mean by literature review? Very simply, even there are a lot of technical terms are here. What do you mean by literature review? Now you have a problem. No, what sort of a problem? You might have a more researchable problem. What do you mean by then the literature review? Literature in Sinhala, what do you call that? Literature in Sinhala, review කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? විශ්ලේෂණ. එහෙනම් මොකද කරන්නේ? සාහිත්‍ය විශ්ලේෂණය කරනවා. සාහිත්‍ය විශ්ලේෂණයක් තමයි literature review කියලා කියන්නේ. How can we review it? What do you mean by review? Review. Analyze. You have to read and analyze. What do you need to read and analyze? Literature. Literature in the sense, similar research papers, right? Reading similar papers, reading similar articles, reading similar books. For the selected research topic, we call it as what? Literature review, right? But not the other areas. Reviewing literature in the sense you have to read the similar area. If you have identified the sustainability and financial performance, you have to read on which area? Sustainability and then the environmental performance or sustainability or financial performance. If you have selected the financial technology and then the sustainability, you have to start the reading on fintech and then the sustainability. Referring the similar articles for the fintech and sustainability, analyze those things after read those things and identify the importance of that paper to your study. We call it as what for that? That is what we call as the literature. Similar papers. Very simply, reading similar papers for the research, we call it as what? Literature review. Reading plus analyzing. Okay. What is the first definition? Literature review is a systematic examination of previous research, books, articles, and other scholarly sources related to a particular topic. Right? Particular topic. That means you have to start reading from the specified area. As well as what you can do, you have to refer which things? Previous research. That means thesis. You can refer the thesis. Sometimes you might refer the ESG governance, S1 and S2. If you are doing the sustainability or the environmental or climate changes, you can refer the new S1 and S2 standards. And then articles regarding the sustainability articles, journal articles. And then other scholarly resources sometimes might be the newspapers, sometimes might be the newsletters and websites. There might be a lot of research websites. Referring those things, we call it as what? Systematically investigating those things, we call it as a what? Literature review. Then other one, publish. Okay, the second example, the second definition, first definition clear. Second definition, there are also new things. What do you mean by what is new thing here? Sometimes there might be some published as well as the unpublished sources. Right? What do you mean by the literature review there? The selection of available documents. Available documents sometimes might be the published or unpublished. Are there published as well as unpublished sources? Can there be a published or unpublished sources for the information? Yes. Published sources, if you know, books, journal papers, and then the newspapers, website, what these are? These are published sources. What are the unpublished sources? Unpublished sources. What might be the unpublished sources? Your fourth year thesis. Are those things published sources? Right? What these are? Unpublished. Can you refer those things? Can you refer those things for your literature review? Can you? Yes, you can. Right? Referring or analyzing even published or unpublished doesn't matter. But those things should be written in a standard format. Right? When you are referring published versus unpublished, those things should be written in a standard format. What do you mean by the standard format? Standard format. Standard format. Is this a standard format? Just tell me, is this a standard format? Is this a published one? Yes. Published in where? Can anyone tell me where this is published in? If you have the document, where this is published in? Journal of International Economics and Management. That's the public, that's the journal name. Right? And then this is a published document. Is this having a standard format? Yes, right? Is this having an object of research? Yes. This research has been conducted with the purpose. Very clearly it is mentioned in the abstract. And then it has a purpose, and then it has a proper methodology, and then they have collected data and write the report and conclusion. This is a standard format. From A to Z, introduction chapter to the conclusion chapter. Likewise, there might be some progress papers as well. Work in progress. What do you mean by work in progress? Work in progress. In finance or in accounting, you might heard the work in progress. What is that? Sometimes there might be another research regarding the same topic. Those might be not completed. Can you refer those things? Yes, you can refer those things. There might be some dissertation on the same topic, not published, but wrote in a standard format. Can you refer those things? Yes, you can refer those things. We call it as a what? Literature review. Literature review. Can anyone tell me whether this paper is included information? The last week, the journal paper, does it include information? Is it including information? Yes, it's include a lot of information. Is it include ideas? Ideas? Yes, ideas of several researchers included there. Is it included data? Okay, you just go to the data analysis chapter and just leave there whether there is a data analysis. Is there a data? Are there data points? Are there analysis chapters? Are there analysis tables? Chapter number 4. Yes. No. No data. What do you mean by data? Okay, page number 4.3 discussion. Beta values, right? Beta 1, beta 2, correlation, coefficient, all are mentioned, right? Just tell me that means the published source, the journal paper, include what? Include what? Information. Include several researchers' ideas. Include data. What else? Include evidence. Is this giving us a evidence? Yes, in the conclusion, how they are writing the conclusion. Based on their findings. That means that is a evidence. Is this having a purpose? Or is this written in a standard point of view? Yes, this is written in a standard point of view, which include information, data, evidences and all. And referring those things, we call it as what then? Havisha, referring those things. No. This is a published or unpublished? This is a published source. Referring this published source where it has been written down with the purpose and standard point which include data, information, evidences and all, we refer it as what? Literature review, right? Literature review. Like this, there might be another unpublished sources as well, which include purpose, standard point, information, evidences, and then the data and all. You can refer those things as well. We call it as again literature review, right? Literature review. Hope it is clear. Today we have a recorder on towards you, not for me. So therefore, all are recording to you. Importance of the literature review. What is the importance of the literature review? Importance. Why should we read the similar papers? First thing is, what is first thing? You can have a background knowledge regarding by reading the similar papers. What you can have? You can have the background idea. If you are reading, if you are interested regarding ESD, you have to read A to Z regarding ESD. That means you have introduced the ESD and then at present 2026, what is the latest update regarding ESD? That sort of a scope should be there. If you are reading like that in the sense, you should have definitely a proper background idea regarding your variable, what you are studying. There is a It's 29. Then definitely last week also I told you if you are reading the journal papers you can refer the conclusion future suggestion section. Conclusion future researchers, right? Inputs for the future researchers are given. Input for the future research are given in the sense what it reveals actually trends. That is most important thing you have to read. When you are interested regarding a research article, just read the abstract and then go to the definitely the conclusion. Why? Conclusion having 3 sections. First one is a conclusion. Emerald, most of the Emerald Insight papers, they have a standard format. In the conclusion section they give 3 points here. One of them is 3 points. First one is the conclusion of the study. Second one, recommendations. Third one, future suggestions. මෙන්න මේ තුන තියෙනවා. Conclusion එක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කියවන්න. What is their conclusion of the study? Based on the conclusion, what is the recommendation? And lastly, what are the future suggestions for the next researchers? By reading those things, what you can have? You can have the trend, you can have the idea regarding trends in the specific area. Right? Trends in that specific area. New areas, another area where you can touch for, and likewise, you might have the new ideas. Okay. Avoid duplications. Duplication in the sense, you are reading, if you are properly reading, if you are properly doing a literature review, in the sense, you are not going to do the same research again and again. If you read that article, are we going with the same research? No, we can do a modification and do another study. But don't do the same study again and again to the same industry. That is not creating a valid review. How it comes, if you are reading properly. If you are reading properly, you can have the trends as well as you can avoid the duplications in that area. Okay. And then formulate the hypothesis, and definitely another one, methodology, right? Reading similar papers give us a sense regarding how they have conducted their methodology. Methodology in the sense, even එක බර වචනයක් වුණාට methodology කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ research එක කරේ? How they did the research, right? How they did the research. How they did the research will guide us you to identify the way of doing for our work, right? So by looking at those things, identify the sample of them, and then it guided for us to do our research. Therefore, you can have a proper ideas regarding their methodology as well for your research. So those are the things actually you can have from the literature review if you are doing a proper literature review. You can have a break and come and then have you start at 10. Okay, we start after break. If you have laptops, you can bring out your laptops. Okay. Now we'll first go to the Emerald Insight. Type Emerald Insight. Google it, Emerald Insight. Now we are going to search the information. If you want to know it, go to the lecture note and write it down. Search in information. Take down the heading. Searching information for destination. Searching information for destination. Searching information for destination. Searching information for destination. Write it down. Write it down. As a researcher, as a researcher, as a researcher, as a researcher, we can refer research journal papers. We can refer research journal papers, books, conference proceedings, reports, newsletters, theses, via online platform in printed materials. Printed materials. That means there might be some journals in the printed version. Sometimes those are publishing online as well. There are some books we are publishing online, as well as there are some physical hard copies as well, right? Newspapers might be online and then might be physical. Then write it down. Hereinafter, we refer online platforms for journal papers. First one, Emerald Insight. Second one, Science Direct. SCIENCE DIRACET. Science Direct. One word, not two words. Science Direct. SCIENCE DIRECT. Science Direct. One word. Okay, search and clear out the words. Third one. ResearchGate. Third one, ResearchGate. Third one, gate, G-A-T. Fourth one. Web of Science. Web of Science. Now take out your laptops. Google it, Emerald Insight. Googling emerald inside. Emerald inside. Okay, you can give the command accept all cookies. Whatever the interested area can type here. Type the interested area. You might identify 2 areas. Search on those areas, not just the areas. Search on the area where you have completed your homework. If it is already, type for it. Emerald Insight is a publisher, right? They are publisher. They are publishing journal articles as well as books and then case studies. Emerald Insight. Emerald Insight. I will just try book finance. Online students, I have a show. This computer. Therefore, 99 minus you have 3 commands there. All contain journals and books. I will search for journals. All contain. We do first all content. Select all content and then give the command search. Give the command search. Right, once you are searching, take, right? My keyword. So we call this one as a keyword, right? So if you are really interested regarding sustainability, but you can search on sustainability, right? So if you are interested in the financial performance, you can search on the financial performance. If you are interested regarding ESGs, you can search on the ESGs, what we call as a keywords, right? So therefore, based on your keyword, you can identify here there are some search information. First one, regarding my fintech keyword, I can identify a journal there, right? What is the journal name? My journal name is Fintech and Digital Accounting Review, right? My journal name is Fintech and Digital Review. Sometimes you might receive, if you have typed taxation, you might receive the taxation journals. Have you received those things? Check whether you have received those things or not. You can just click on the journal there. Right? Click on the journal. Click on the journal. What do you mean by a journal? Journal is a booklet, right? Which include relevant journal articles, right? Journal include relevant research article. That means you also can do a research and publish in that journal article. This is online or physical platform. This is an online platform. You can identify this is an onlinely published platform. This might be the journal home page. We'll read just about this about journal. What is the current issue? Current issue. You might see the same diagram or same window in your laptops. What do you mean by current issue? Recent issue, right? When is it? 2025 December 8 is a recent issue. And then, what is it regards? You can read about the journal article. Fintech is Fintech and Digital Accounting Review is an academic, double anonymous, peer-reviewed journal. Is dedicated to publishing high-quality research and the online points. That means the description is there regarding the journal. Now we can look at the issues. Issues. Just type on issues. Have you received this kind of a similar window? Have you received this kind of a similar window? Yes. What is this cycle means? What is this cycle means? Yes. What is this cycle means? This is an open access. What is this? This is an open access journal. What do you mean by the open access journal? You can refer, you can read that journal article, right? If this sign is not there, right? If this sign is not there, you can't read that journal article. Right? Look at Kerala වගේ තියෙන්නේ ඔයාලට මේ ආටිකල් එකට ඇක්සස් තියෙනවා. මේ ආටිකල් එක නැහැ කියලා කිය. මේ සයින් එක නැහැ කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ ආටිකල් එකට ඇක්සස් ඔයාලට නැහැ කියන එක. Just click on the article. Just click on the article. Now keep the PDF. You can read the PDF. If you go to the content below, limited content is available on the web page, not the full. Read the Now this is what? This is the journal article where you want to access. In නැති වෙන්න හේතුව open access ලැබීම. මොනවාර ඔයාලට sign එකක් කරනවා නම් ඒ sign එක විතරක් තියනවා විතරයි අපිට read කරන්න පුළුවන්. Now you can download that article. You can download that article. Now, if you read the main dashboard, right? If you read the main dashboard, so you can see here again back here. This is regarding the journal, right? And then we can identify the journal papers. The first paper I read, and this is the second paper, right? This side you can identify latest, most read, and most cited. Latest means the current issue articles, right? In this month or in this year, within this 6 months, within these 3 months, what are the articles that we have published? ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ කාලය එකින් එක journal එකෙන් journal එකට වෙනස් වෙනවා. Most read. Most read. That means most of the researchers read these articles. Again, new areas, right? Most read in the sense most of the researchers are interested towards this areas. Most read part. Third one, most cited. What do you mean by cited? Most cited? Most of the researchers refer these papers and again conduct a new research. Most cited one. So therefore, this is also these two also creating high value addition for the other researchers to read. By looking this fintech and SDGs and the bibliometric analysis, as well as mapping evaluation of fintech and digital payments are trending research areas. That is why it has been cited by most of the researchers. Very important. You can search on these areas as well. Right? Most read, most cited, and then of the latest one. Can anyone read this one? Issues. If you touch there, can you identify a diagram there? In this paper, it doesn't include, I hope, no any previous research. If you click on issues tab, you can see the select here and then issue. This journal paper, I have now selected the new journal that is regarding accounting, auditing and accountability journal. It's initiated here which year? The paper has been initiated, this journal has been initiated in 1988. From 1988 to 2026, we can identify the subcopies of the journals. Subcopies of these journal articles. We'll go to now, since the 26 is not completed, we'll go to 26, 25, just select the 25. In your diagram, just select the issues and then select 25. And look at here, issues. How many issues for the 2025? Starting from January, Feb, April, May, June, September, October, November, December. How many? 9 issues are there, right? For a year, how many times they have published this one? 9, right? For a 2025, 9 times. Once, if it is per issue, include 5 articles, how many articles might be there for 2025? 9 into 5, how many? 45 articles from which area? From accounting, auditing and accountability, right? So then what you can do is, you can search on that area. You can just refer those things. That is how you can identify trending areas and check whether are there any similar articles available for your research in the particular journal. If someone is still missing the interested area, what they can do, they also can look at these journals. Right? So if you referring those things, you can identify what? Trending research topics. That is regarding the journals, right? Now we completed the journals. Now we look at the articles, right? Articles. How to find the article? If you go to this auditing, just search it. Second and third. From the auditing area, I can identify how many journals? 3 journals. After these 3 journals, you can identify the book chapters, right? Book chapters regarding the auditing. And then third one, look at their journal articles, right? No need to go into the journal. No need to go into the journal. Just you can have the idea regarding journal articles. Just search and identify the journal articles. There are open access one. Only this one is open access one. Is this having open access? Open access in the sense you can refer it. Can you refer it? Can you view the PDF? Can we view the PDF from above one? No. Yes, because the sign is not there. But second one can be viewed.
Yes.
This only can be. Since we didn't have the institution access for the journals, you have to refer only the open access journals. Clear? Just view it. දැන් අපි මේ වෙලාවේ ජර්නල් එක ඇතුළට ගිහිල්ලා නෙමෙයි papers බලන්නේ. මේ බලන්නේ audit වලට සමාන articles දෙනවා මේගොල්ලෝ. ඒක අපි ඒකක් තමයි මේ බලන්නේ. හොඳම දේ තමයි හැබැයි ජර්නල් එකක් ඇතුළට ගිහිල්ලා හැබැයි article select කර ගැනීම. Right. Okay, again also you can read the PDF. Okay, now your task, download 5 articles from the Emerald Insight for the selected area that you have completed your homework. From the homework areas, download 5 articles. Quickly do it. I gave you the homework and then based on the homework area, download 5 articles from the Emerald Insight. So we are going to do a literature review based on that 5 articles. So therefore download 5 articles. homework का तुमने area homework का किवे तुमने homework की करते area तीन articles पहाक download करेगा ये articles पहाक तमाया भी literature review लिया नया The steps that I am doing is having always a step. All are having a proper steps. If you miss the step in the sense, you can't do it. I'm doing lectures with research methodology with having an order. So therefore, you have to follow that order. If you miss that order, or else if you are not working properly on the orders in the sense, you might miss some important concepts. ඊට පස්සේ ඉතින් ඔය එකක් එකක් ඉස්සගෙන එන්න තමයි වෙන්නේ. කරන දේ දන්නේ නැහැ, කරන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා දන්නේ Download 5 articles. Okay, uploaded 5 articles. So, writing, science, direct. Science, direct. Science, direct. Because science, direct. There also you can search on the keywords. Except for cookies. The first time web searching box you can identify, find the answers. The next terms. That means you have to type the keyword there. Just type it as audit or tax. Search on the scientific publications, these are journals, as well as you can identify this. There are papers. These are articles. If you look at there, PDF. Just download 5 articles from the Science Direct now. If you click on here, view PDF, just view PDF. If the PDF icon is not there, you can't download that papers. That means you don't have access. It is the way of Science Direct papers. All Science Direct papers are having the same set of format as you can see in the Emerald site. Emerald site also having the same set of the standard. Right? They are writing the journal papers, Emerald site papers into a order, into a identified order. Here also the Science Direct, they have the same order. First abstract, you just go through that one. You can identify the introduction chapter and methodology, discussion and over. Download 5 articles which is relevant for your selected area in last week homework. Now just type research gate. Take a new window. Hope you have downloaded 5 articles. So now go to a new tab in Google and type research gate. Third source, research gate. Search publications there, just type whatever the keyword that you want to type. Have you viewed the research gate? Just download one paper from the research gate. One paper from the research gate. This one speaker. Hope you have downloaded the one article from the research gate. Now go to the again leave the Google and then take a new tab and type the speaker. Even sometimes the research gate is having some restrictions, you can download the picture. I told her, what research gate accounts one can research profile. You can choose. Without having an account, you can't expect. You can go to this picture and download one article from this picture. Look at them, you can see the open access. What do you mean by open access? You can read that article. Open access always refers you can download the PDF. Download it. Download one article from the same area. Now how many articles we have? 12 articles, 5, 5, 5, and then research gate 1, and then picture 1. After downloading 12 articles, we go to the next session. We'll end the first session and then mark your QR, and later on with the 12 sessions, 12 articles, we'll start the second session. We want to go with